Hello, it's I Web Fox, and today I will be talking about Home with the free movie review. I saw Home just yesterday, and I gotta say that it was quite an enjoyable movie. Dreamworks movies are usually a misses for me, but this is one that I really did enjoy. Besides Shrek and also How to Train Your Dragon, I find most of the Dreamworks movies to be really not that good at all. But this one is wonderful, I think, from beginning to end. The story starts out with this alien race called the Boov sort of invading Earth. It's placed in the human race and this trying to take over. One Boov named O comes across one human who has yet to be abducted by the aliens called Tip. Together they'll span the world that's covered with Boov as they search for Tip's mom. There's more to the story than just that, but that's sort of the gist of it. I do like the sort of body designs of the Boo, the way that they sort of got these head tails that also act as their noses, the way that they change colors depending on their mood or the way they feel. And their technology is pretty interesting, I thought. Sort of a mixture of Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory and the bridge of the New Enterprise from the J.J. Abrams movies. Rihanna plays a Tip, who does a great job, I must say. And the one guy who I forget his name from The Big Bang Theory plays O, and he is quite hilarious, I thought, in this. Much better than The Big Bang Theory. Steve Martin is also in this movie. I didn't realize that it was his voice until I saw the credits, and then I was like, yeah, that is him. It was good. Even Jennifer Lopez is in this. Even though I don't care for her, she did a pretty good job. Even though with the few lines that she had, I guess you could sort of say that she's more of a cameo. This is a very pleasant movie for children of all ages. It's colorful, bright, everything is recognizable and doesn't look too gritty or edgy. Sort of smoothed out in a way, in a stylistic manner. The movie runtime is about an hour and a half, maybe close to an hour and 40 minutes. So it's not too long and it's quite enjoyable. I did see this in 3D and I gotta say, I recommend it in 3D. This is the second movie that I've seen where I must say that the 3D was perfect from beginning to end. The other movie being Star Trek Into Darkness. So I recommend seeing this in 3D because a lot of things sure do sort of pop out or actually look like it's sticking out quite a bit and gives it more of a real feel of how all the creatures and beings and all the buildings are compared to each other. The contrast and the perspective of everything. There's a lot of good laughs in this movie, and I must say that, unlike most of those DreamWorks movies, that the pop culture references are pretty toned down in this. There's a pretty quick one about Pimp My Ride, a few mentions of the internet, and a couple dance moves were talked about. But besides that, they pretty much just stick to the story and what's happening around them, and not just talk about things that kids could see on TV. There's just a tad bit of gross out humor, but most of what they do is just talk about or it's just mentioned off screen so you don't actually see it happening. And there's a bit of humor that you gotta pay attention to catch, like how the name of one item is called that because of marketing. I'm quite happy how the movie begins, how it plays through, and how it ends. A couple of little hiccups that I have with the movie is one is that they talk about at one point some sort of peace talks between some aliens. They didn't mention why the peace talks were brought up in any way. Another thing that bothers me is how one alien was able to find his other aliens with them not really pointing out how he was able to find them. Just came out of nowhere there. Just one thing that isn't explained. Another thing that I would actually like him to elaborate more on because that actually catches my interest and I just want to know more about the peace talks. With Rihanna being one of the co-stars in this movie, I'm pretty sure that most of the songs that they have playing is her songs, which I can't complain because there's quite a few of her songs that I really do enjoy. So please go see Home. It's an enjoyable flick for mainly kids, but some adults can get some enjoyment out of it too. And if you really can, watch it in 3D because I find that this would be one of the two movies I've ever seen in 3D to actually be worth it.